Hey, what's up, and welcome back to Crypto DGenzo. I know we've been gone a while. Sometimes that happens because we're studying new projects to invest in. We just made a 25x on Neon EVM. We were talking about it at least 2 or 3 months before anybody else, even though they think they were first. It was us that got you to 25x. That's why you got to be on this channel and in the Patreon, but we'll talk about that later. Today we're talking about talking crypto over Christmas. I know a lot of people are afraid of talking to their family members about crypto. They may not know what to say. Their family members are always coming with rebuttals and why they think it's a scam. So we're going to try to help you with those talking points and probably educate you and some of your family members. Maybe you want to sit down with your family and watch this video together so they can get a better understanding. I could talk about this stuff all day, but I wrote a couple of notes so I can, just stay on course and try to get through this quickly. And if you want more information, come back to the channel or join the Patreon later. But today, the topics we're going to talk about is real world uses of crypto. Banks already using blockchain, even though they pretend they're not and they hate crypto and they would never use it. They're already using it. We're going to talk about the Bitcoin ETF, exchange traded fund. That's where you get your bundle of assets from your fund managers that you invest in. There's going to be a Bitcoin ETF. Some people say as early as tomorrow, which would be Friday, December 22nd. But the deadline everybody's looking forward to is January 10th. But if it comes tomorrow, that'll be early Christmas. But yeah, there's going to be a Bitcoin ETF. And the two things that a lot of people are scared to talk about, NFTs, your family members always asking you about those cartoon pictures, JPEGs that went for $500,000 and why NFTs are a scam. We're going to talk about why they're not a scam. And we're going to talk about the Bitcoin scams that happened last cycle that turned a lot of people off the Bitcoin. They think that's how crypto and Bitcoin works, but it's not how it works. But we're going to talk about that. And the most important of all, which is being your own bank, which is what I'm the most excited about. Yeah. So, you might say, why am I hearing so much that crypto's a scam? Or why I haven't seen these Bitcoin scams? Or why did this politician or this person say that crypto's a scam? Like the Peter Schiffs, that guy. But the truth is they don't want you to get in early. That's why. Imagine that you're living in the 1920s, right? At that real generational transfer of wealth when the Rockefellers got started and JP Morgan and all those guys. You have that same opportunity right now. You got to think about it. Those people didn't know that they were living through history and they were going to be written about in the history books, the Great Depression that followed after that and all this kind of stuff. That's where you are now, but you can't tell that you're living history because it's your present. But this is the opportunity you have right now to get that generational transfer of wealth through crypto, and there's really no better opportunity right now. A lot of people will say, man, I wish I can go back and invest in Microsoft and Apple and Amazon, but the truth is you would not have invested in it because with new technology always comes new negativity, people saying that it won't last, it's just a fad, it's a scam, because believe it or not, you're laughing at it because you're watching me on the internet right now, but that's exactly what they said about the internet in the 90s. They said it about Amazon. And I'm just going to read a couple of excerpts from an article that I really like, or hate, I don't know what to call it. But this is one of the paragraphs. Do our computer pundits lack all common sense? The truth is no online database will replace your daily newspaper. Yeah. Tell me how you feel about that now and today. That's what they were saying in the 90s, but how do you feel about that right now? Do you believe that statement? Because we all know that's all we use right now. Everything is on your phones. What is another one? Here's another one. Try reading a book on a disc. At best, it's an unpleasant chore. The myopic glow of a clunky computer replaces the friendly pages of a book. And you can't tote that laptop to the beach, even though we do that now, and we have our phones. Yet the director of MIT Media Lab predicts that we'll soon buy books and newspapers straight over the internet. Sure. That's how they felt in the 90s about this new technology we call the internet. And here's my favorite of all. So this is what I'm saying. When there's a new technology, this is how everybody feels. They're like, it's a scam, it's not going to last, it doesn't make sense. That's because it's new. So that's where we are with crypto right now. Then you have Solana, which is one of the most popular blockchains. They have partnerships with Visa, Shopify. Render, another cryptocurrency, is used by Apple, Nvidia, Microsoft, Google, Mattel. And you have PayPal, who has their own crypto stablecoin. MasterCard is also working in the blockchain space. And you have banks that are using blockchain. And my most favorite has to be JP Morgan, because Jamie Dimon, their CEO, claims that he hates crypto, and if it was up to him, he would get rid of crypto and blockchain and Bitcoin. But how come his beloved JP Morgan has their own blockchain by the name of Onyx? I know your grandmother's probably watching this video with you right now and she doesn't believe it, but you can take her to their website. I'll make sure I link it for you so everyone can know what Jamie Dimon really believes. So they have their own blockchain. Like I said, you have all these banks that are saying they're not using blockchain, and they say all this negative stuff, but they're using it themselves. Another topic, as I talked about earlier, was the Bitcoin ETF, the exchange traded fund. Like I said, this is where your grandparents or maybe your parents are used to getting their bundle of assets from their fund managers that they can invest in, that will give them less risk or whatever, because they just package them, get packaged together. So yeah, there's going to be a Bitcoin ETF, and there's a number of companies that are waiting for approval to activate their own Bitcoin ETF. Those companies are BlackRock, Fidelity, Grayscale Investments, 21 Shares, Valkyrie Investments, and the two favorite of mine right now, because they have commercials, are Bitwise and Hashdex. And as you saw, the Bitwise commercial featured the popular actor Jonathan Goldsmith, who's known as the most interesting man in the world. I think that's how the title said. So yeah, this is a serious deal. So what's going to happen is you're going to hear Bitcoin's a scam, Bitcoin's a scam, and all of a sudden you're going to see these commercials everywhere and people promoting their ETFs and stuff, and then you're going to realize maybe you're still a little early, but maybe you're also a little late, because you could have got Bitcoin yourself at an earlier time. But that's why you come to this channel, yeah. But yeah, you hear a lot of politicians and people saying that Bitcoin is a scam, and you're probably asking yourself, well, how can this all be going on at the same time? How can people be saying it's a scam while people are setting up Bitcoin exchange traded funds? Is because it depends on where your attention is. They know where your attention goes, whether you're paying attention to a politician or you have a particular news program that you watch all the time. And like I said, it's not about pitting politics against one another. I just think politics are a way to divide us all. But yeah, it may be the people that you're watching that are telling you that Bitcoin's a scam, and then you'll soon realize that it's not a scam, and you could have gotten in much earlier, Bitcoin and crypto all together. Another thing I want to talk about that I didn't put on my list before, but I'm just going to throw this statement out here. I won't talk about it much now, but let me let you know that in crypto we have this thing called stable coins, USDT and USDC. Do not let anyone make you think that stable coins in crypto are the same as CBDCs. We like stable coins, we do not like CBDCs. We'll talk about that in another video. Now, the thing that a lot of people are scared to talk about, NFTs. Now, this one has gotten a lot of backlash from a lot of people, even in the gaming community, because it's very much understood what an NFT is. Just read it from my notes so I don't get too deep in. NFT is a non-fungible token. It is an asset that is stored on the blockchain, and its ownership can be verified on the blockchain, saying that you own it. It is not like a regular JPEG where you can screenshot and you say, well, I own it now too, or you can download it to your computer. That's not how an NFT works. It is verifiable on the blockchain. It has its own metadata that says that you are the sole owner of that NFT. They all have their own unique metadata, so you cannot just copy a picture and say that you own it. That's not how it works. See, I'm going to go on a tangent. Let me get back to my notes. But yeah, NFTs can be used for things like collectibles, like artwork that you've seen, even though they've just been why can't I talk today? They've just been in the past, like the cartoon pictures. But you can use them for artwork, collectibles, baseball cards. Artists can use them to sell their albums. Even I believe in the future, one of the things I keep saying they're going to be NFTs are going to be used for is driver's license. So stuff like that, in-game items, like usually when you're in a video game, you may buy a skin from Fortnite or you might buy a gun or something. NFTs can be used for that. It's pretty much just metadata, or I call it a record-keeping system, but just shows that you have ownership of it. Another way I'm very sure that NFTs are going to be used in the future, I think your deed to your home, is going to be an NFT or whatever. That's how I feel like that's how we're going to buy real estate and properties in the future. A lot of people are talking about real world assets this cycle. I think it's coming down the line. Maybe not really soon, but I think it's coming soon. And that's how you start to buy real estate, and people will know it because you have that NFT. Like I said, it's important to realize that not all NFTs are $250,000 and $500,000 cartoon JPEG pictures. NFT, non-fungible token, is just a technology. Don't think that NFTs are only cartoon pictures. That's not what they are. It's just a way to verify that you own an asset on the blockchain. It shows ownership of an asset, just like a contract or a mortgage agreement or a lease agreement or something like that. NFTs could be $20, they could be $5, they could be 10 cents. So once again, NFTs are not all $500,000. And here's another one that people don't want to talk about: the Bitcoin scammers. Last cycle, you used to hear or see stuff like, "Give me this amount of money, and I'll bring you back 2 Bitcoins." That's not how Bitcoin works. You do not give money to someone and they bring you back Bitcoins, or you give them 1 Bitcoin and they give you back 2. That's not how it works. You need to buy your Bitcoin yourself and have your own ownership of it, and you store it on your cold wallet, which, well, like I said, I'm just going through I'm not going to talk about that today. We're going to talk more about that later, and maybe in other videos, or if you join the community, the Patreon. People like to say community, but it's a Patreon. I'm going to call it what it is. I'm not a scammer. I'm not a salesperson, so I'm going to call it what it is. That's what it is. Anyway, so yeah, that's not how you buy it. You buy it yourself off an exchange like Coinbase or some of the other exchanges out there. You do not give money to anybody else to bring you back Bitcoin. And that's why a lot of people think Bitcoin is a scam, because they're like, oh, people said, give them money and they were going to bring me back more money. Well, you kind of got scammed. You don't, well, I guess you do. You get people to buy you groceries through Instacart, but I don't. I like buying my groceries myself. But you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, buy it yourself is what I'm saying. So my favorite part and the last part of this video is crypto allows you to be your own bank. Yeah, I don't keep my money in the bank anymore. I'm just going to call it what it is. It gives you the freedom to be your own bank. I hold my money, if I want to pay bills or whatever it is, in stable coins. I can go more in detail into this later, but that's why a lot of people are scared of this new technology and try to say it's scammers. And the going thing they're trying to say now is like terrorists are using it. That's a lie, man. The T word people have been using regular cash for decades and years. Like, so they try to scare you out of saying that's not what crypto is used for. In crypto, you can track crypto much easier than you can track cash. Yeah, really. I can show you how another day, but yeah, the thing about crypto is you're allowed to be your own bank. You don't have to worry about exchanging currencies when you go to other countries. You carry your bank with you, or however you want to do it. We can get into details about that later, but it gives you more freedom. How many times have you called the bank, or you try to make a big purchase and the bank like stops the purchase or declines your cards, which is, for one, it's embarrassing when they decline your card. Or then they tell you this thing that I hate the most. You have a spending limit. You have a daily spending limit. It's supposed to be your money, but they tell you have a spending limit. There's a limit on how much of your own money you can spend. That's because the bank doesn't keep all your money. They only have a percentage of it. So you got to call them ahead of time when you want to make a big purchase. I don't have time for that. So that's what crypto gives you the freedom to do. Like I said, it's not the most polished video, but I want to just get this video out there and talk about some things that you're probably wondering about, educate some people and some kind of beginner ways about what crypto is. Yeah, like I said, if you want to learn more, join the Patreon, because that's what it's called. It's not a VIP group. It's not a community. It's a Patreon. If you want to get more educated on this stuff, the link is in my bio, whether you're watching this on my TikTok, my Instagram, or my YouTube, or my Facebook. you should be able to find the Patreon. If you want to learn more, we'll have a beginners category in there, so you can come talk to me about any of the things you want to ask me. And if you only want to be in there for 1 month to find out some things, you can do that. You don't have to stay in there. But it's a benefit because we try to give people cryptos early before they take off and help you make some gains. Like I said, we made a 25x on Neon EVM, which means if you put $100 in, you could pull out $2,500. It's not like stocks, it's heavenly. But you got to know what you're doing. You can't come in here just gambling, because you'll lose a lot of money if you don't know what you're doing. But join the Patreon, link in bio.